right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Well, we've had a very nice Saturday, but we've got rain on the way. How much rain is going to impact us on Sunday, and if it lingers into Halloween?
A peaceful fall festival postponed due to violence. Tonight, we're hearing how the shocking events unfolded from an eyewitness. A community mourning after a deadly school shooting took the lives of a teacher and a student. Tonight, several organizations host events to try and spur a time of healing.
It was like firecrackers, like very close. Like if you're standing close to a firecracker and not distancing yourself, that's how loud it was. It was like a strong clap.
Tonight, a 19-year-old is dead after being shot near a church in Florissant. We're hearing from a man who was just steps away from the shooter. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sydney Stallworth. Florissant police say all of this happened around 1:30 this afternoon. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings is in studio tonight with more details. Travis, what can you tell us?
Hey, Sydney, people who witnessed the shooting were so devastated by this. Witnesses told us they were just about to start a church event to celebrate fall and the Halloween weekend, to bring people together. The complete opposite of what happened here this afternoon.
It's very mind-blowing that not only this can be done, but this can be done in front of a church.
The parking lot at Calvary Bible Baptist Church in Florissant surrounded by caution tape Saturday afternoon. That's off of Graham Road, where police say a 19-year-old man was shot and killed at 1:30.
And after the first shot, the individual was standing like in the shooting position, targeting towards the victim. And he kept shooting towards that.
Pierre Lott, a member of the church, was caught in the crossfire.
After the second or third shot, I hid behind our trash can.
Lott says this all happened just hours before his church was set to kick off their Free Harvest Festival.
We didn't even get started yet. We were just getting things together, getting the stage together, getting the food, the hot chocolate, and the apple cider together.
Prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell is saddened by yet another tragedy in the community.
And I know Florissant Police Department is doing everything they can to process this scene and this investigation in general. Obviously, our office is going to do everything that we can to support that as well.
This person came here to do something that is the total opposite of what we're trying to do.
As police work to learn more, this church and its members are continuing to keep the faith.
Not only are we praying for a healing, but we're praying to keep moving forward so that we can continue the work that the Lord put in our heart to do.
Yeah, staying in good spirits. So the church has postponed the festival. Police have not released the man's identity, suspect information, or what might have led up to the shooting. If you have any information, you can give Florissant Police a call. That number is 314-831-7000.
Thanks, Travis. We're going to go ahead and take a live look over the arch right now, a view we never get tired of here at 5 on your side. Now, skies are maybe a little bit cloudy right now, but it sounds like rain could be on the way. We're going to take things over to our meteorologist, Gary Frank. Gary, I know it's Halloween weekend. I'm sure some people maybe even headed out to a bar or something like that. Should they be bringing an umbrella when they're headed out there?
Yeah, you know, if you guys are up watching us from the bar, then you already know that maybe it's dry outside and those clouds are increasing, but we are going to continue to see maybe the later that you're out, or just in general, the later you're out tonight, you're going to see that possibility of rain go up, especially after midnight. Right now, obviously no one at Kirkwood Farmers Market, as you would expect, but the main thing is you don't see that it's raining and you don't see too much wind. That is pretty calm, and there's the arch yet again. Temps right now are actually holding steady in the 60-degree range, 61 right now. We are going to continue to see that east breeze now at about 10 miles an hour. That'll be with us overnight. Here's this rain that we've been tracking for you. It's this wide area slowly moving. But the biggest focus is that first band. This is the heaviest rain that's going to settle in overnight and the most steady. And I want to show you where some of it has already started to work its way in as we've got a little bit closer to St. Clair and Sullivan and areas that closer to Festus. It's been raining at a pretty steady pace. So this is going to continue to work its way to the north into the overnight hours, but still it's going to take a minute. 51 overnight as rain begins specifically after midnight. We track that to your location and talk about how much your Sunday is going to be affected by rain.
All right, thanks, Gary. We'll check in with you soon. Tonight, a man is in custody after threatening to open fire on a bus Friday afternoon in Iron County. The sheriff's office responded to a call about a man dressed in camouflage, armed with an AR-15, threatening to shoot. Iron County Sheriff Jeff Burkett tells us that they were able to quickly secure the scene and take the suspect into custody. He's now facing several felony charges. Well, the St. Louis community continues to mourn the lives lost after Monday's deadly school shooting at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School. But today, one church helped to give the community time to heal. St. Philip's Evangelical Lutheran Church in the Ville hosted its Harvest Festival. The festival was put on by the nonprofit St. Louis Story Stitchers. While there was food, fun, and games, organizers said it was also a time for the community to heal.
We just want to have a conversation about healthy coping mechanisms and things that will help you get through what I can only describe as an emotionally confusing time.
The organization wants you to know that behind all of the music and fun, there are a group of people just trying to come together. Well, today, the St. Louis community was invited for another gathering in the aftermath of the school shooting. Black Healers Collective and TSTL hosted a gathering at Tower Grove Park this afternoon. It was an effort to help the community move forward after the violence and trauma that took place over the past week. There is a visitation for Jean Kushka, the teacher who was killed in the CVPA shooting on Sunday from 2 to 8 at Cutis Funeral Home in Afton. A funeral mass will be celebrated at the Cathedral Basilica of St. Louis Monday morning at 10 o'clock. Mrs. Kushka is survived by her husband, 2 sons, and 3 daughters. She also had 6 grandchildren. Well, for the first time ever, veterans rode the trail to raise awareness about suicide prevention. Veterans participated in the Trail to Zero horseback ride from the Principia to Keener Plaza. It's a 20-mile trail that represents the 20 veterans we lose every day to suicide. The event was hosted by the Bravehearts organization, and the group uses horses as a way to help veterans heal from their trauma experienced at war. There are licensed mental health professionals available to talk to anyone in need of support. If you need those services, just dial 988. Rising car thefts have targeted the next generation. Our I-Team dives into the action attorneys are taking against Hyundai and Kia. Vote, vote, vote. It's the message churches are spreading to help bring the community to the polls come Election Day.
A lot of rain settling in overnight, but will it be comparable to what we saw just days ago at 2-3 inches? We'll talk about that and also how it impacts our holiday as well.
Welcome back. We're coming up on 10/10 tonight. And speaking of, we're just 10 days away from the midterm elections. Today in North County, churches came together to encourage and motivate the Black community to get out and vote. Churches met at the West Side Missionary Baptist Church, hoping to motivate members to have their voices heard come November 8th.
That's all we want to do, is to get out to vote and, again, to educate themselves on who's on the ballot, what's on the ballot. We've got some pretty important constitutional amendments that are on the ballot this time around.
Bendham says today is also all about the community just coming together. Now, 5 on Your Side is your headquarters on election night. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, will anchor live coverage on election night on 5+ and KSDK.com. The results show starts at 7 o'clock. Then stick around for an expanded edition of 5 on Your Side at 10 o'clock. 5 on Your Side is standing up for St. Louis by asking you to vote and make a plan. We made it easy for you by putting together a comprehensive voter guide. You can read up on the candidates and the key issues that matter most. Just text the word guide to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you that link. Remember to share your voice by casting your vote on November 8th. The polls close at 7 o'clock. Well, the Mid-America Regional Emmy Awards took place tonight at the Hyatt Regency at the Arch. And take a look at this. 5 on Your Side's very own Michelle Lee received an award. Michelle Lee was honored with the George F. Davis Memorial Grant for continuing education. And our news director, Art Holliday, is also receiving the President's Award by the end of the night. Congratulations to them both.
Well, by the end of the night, I think the rain's going to start to settle in, but it's taking its sweet time. Why that is and why that may impact our holiday plans.
Welcome back. It's 10:15 and it's the crime wave that won't stop. Hyundais and Kias being stolen at double, even triple the rate this year than last year. Our I-team has been exposing this issue for months, and now an attorney says all the cops in the world won't stop the thefts. But he tells our Christine Byers a lawsuit just might.
They tried to steal my Kia, bro.
We've seen the videos online.
They busted out the back window.
We've heard from the victims.
My kid's car seat was gone, along with a few of his toys.
And we've seen the damage left behind.
All my seatbelts were cut and the whole ignition was busted.
Now, at least one attorney wants a jury to weigh in.
I mean, we'll probably get a dozen calls today from people that have had their cars stolen.
Jonathan Michaels is a civil attorney in Orange County, California. It's also the home of Hyundai and Kia's headquarters. He's one of multiple attorneys across the country who have filed class action lawsuits against the automakers, faulting them for making their cars too easy to steal. There are now 26 lawsuits on the books, including some from Missouri and Illinois.
This is just remarkable, jaw-dropping, remarkable.
The federal courts want to combine them, and Michaels is asking to be appointed as the lead counsel.
We're bringing it to their doorstep.
So far this year, St. Louis County Police have arrested 165 people for car thefts. And there's been nearly 1,000 Hyundais and Kias stolen in unincorporated areas alone. A quarter of those arrested are juveniles. In St. Louis County, they end up in Chief Juvenile Officer Rick Gaines's care.
Holding kids accountable doesn't mean that every child needs to be in a secure detention facility.
Juvenile crimes are on a point system. The more points you get, the more likely you are to be detained. But car thefts are property crimes, and they don't rank that high. And you see better outcomes with juveniles
way
that
much
are
better
not
outcomes. Yes.
held.
Yes.
Michael says no matter how many kids come to Gaines or arrests police make, it won't stop the problem. Videos of the so-called Kia boys stealing cars with nothing but a USB cord and a screwdriver have been online for months.
That TikTok video has been seen by 33 million people, and we're seeing no slowdown. They sell these same vehicles in other countries with the engine immobilizer. They just don't include it here in the United States. In Europe, the government in Europe actually does require it over there.
Michaels believes there are more than 4 million cars without a chip in the key to start the car. Hyundai and Kia say all of their cars meet federal motor vehicle safety standards, and consumers chose not to buy higher trim levels that included immobilizers.
You cannot go out to consumers and represent this as cutting edge, world-class, leading-in-class technology and not including.
Michael says the automakers acknowledged in a document from 2007 that immobilizers reduce thefts by up to 80%. Hyundai and Kia are offering a security kit to stop thefts, but you have to buy it for $170 and also pay for installation. Michaels and other victims say that the company is trying to profit over a problem they created. For more on their responses, go to KSDK.com.
All right, we're in the spooky spirit. It's Halloween weekend, and that means streets will be lined with lots of pumpkins. And today, St. Charles residents got a chance to see creative pumpkin carving designs along Main Street. Take a look. Oh, that one's really good. All right, now it's part of the annual Pumpkin Glow event. Shops like a Bike Stop Cafe stayed open and encouraged others to wear their Halloween costumes. And the only change this year, candy wasn't given out, so I'm sure there were some disappointed kids. Now, since we're talking about it, parents and kids I know are sitting on the edge of their seat. They want to know what the Halloween forecast
They've
is
all
looking
waited
like.
up till 10:18. They've all waited up, and they're going to continue to see very nice conditions, right? I think that's what we're dealing with for the most part, and we'll continue to try to figure something out for them, and I think we're going to dry it out in time. But, you know, I think the way that things are nowadays, these events start days upon, so they'll always find something, right? They'll always find a good time for it. And right now, it is a good time still to be outside. A lot of people out doing some of these Saturday night parties, dress up, walking around. Dry for now. The later you're out tonight, you're going to be dealing with more rain. It is going to be a rainy morning. Now, some dry time here, but then we're going to see that scattered rain again late plus Monday to some degree. So that may actually impact the holiday. But temperatures in the mid-60s right now, 56 St. Charles, 58 Scott Air Force Base. The rain is starting to settle in. This is the same system we've been tracking for days now. It's moving very slowly. A lot of the times these systems move quickly. This is not one of them, and as a result, it's giving us opportunities for rain. I wanted to look at a couple of different things. Obviously, this wide area of rain, which stretches all the way up Paducah and closer to us, but look at the way it is right here, how we have kind of this spin and a few scattered showers. That's what I think we're going to be dealing with a lot of by Sunday afternoon. That means we're not going to see an entirely rainy day. It's going to look a lot like that, but we are on the front end of what is creating this heavy band of rain. And we're seeing that right now in Farmington, also working its way toward Festus and a little bit closer to the city. This is what we'll continue to be dealing with here over the next several hours, right? And so that's where we have some of this rain, which is from the light to moderate side. And we want to talk about how much rain. I mean, you want to query up some of these highest pockets of rain closer to Union. This is 1/3 of an inch per hour. This is not that soaking rain that we had just days ago where we had 2, 3, even 4 inches in some cases. That is not the case overnight. We will be seeing a very light soaking rain, and it's an easy rain as it settles in closer to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to sleep in the morning, but it's not going to be overly cold as we start off. And by 6 o'clock, that rain is just about everywhere in our area. This seems to be the best time for this rain to settle in. But notice how the back edge by 10, 11, 12 o'clock kind of fizzles out just a little bit. I think that's going to allow us to be outside and enjoy some of those times. Doesn't mean it's going to stop raining completely or the chances go down, but rain begins overnight. And as that rain continues to hang on, we'll see those pockets of rain throughout the afternoon. Here's what it looks like into the overnight hours. Mid-50s, rain chances go up early, and then as we head into the afternoon, this rain eventually quits and gives us another opportunity early Monday morning. Better opportunities early, not quite as much in the second half. And I think in general, we're going to see somewhere upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain area-wide, and there will be pockets that are higher. But it will clear out just in time for trick-or-treating. The next few days, we'll continue to see temps in the low to mid-70s with that rain early Monday, even as late as 2 o'clock, but I think we clear out pretty nicely finally before maybe we're talking more rain by next weekend.
All right, I know people at home were looking forward to hearing that Halloween forecast, and now we got Corey on the desk with more in sports, and they want to know what's going on.
It was a big night at Enterprise Center, you guys. The Blues welcome back an old friend to town, but the only thing he was interested in was prolonging their current losing streak. We'll head over to Enterprise Center next in sports. The two guys who were inside the nets at Enterprise Center tonight have some good memories together. Jordan Binnington took Jake Allen's job on the way to the Stanley Cup in 2019 and made them both champions. Tonight, Allen was back in town with Montreal trying to extend the Blues' losing streak. Of course, I built up the two goalies, and this was an offensive explosion kind of game. Blues did get on the board first. Jordan Kyrou gets credit for this one, and maybe that'll help get him back on track. But this game got out of hand. Blues were down 6-3 when Vladimir Tarasenko nets that goal right there. That cut the lead to 2, but it wouldn't matter. Blues lose 7-4. They've now lost 4 straight regular season games for the first time ever under Craig Berube.
We got to bear down, and we got to do a lot better job being sharp and being simple and playing for each other. That's the bottom line.
Well, good luck figuring out Mizzou football this season. There's a team likely 3 plays away from being 7-1. If Cody Schrader gets 1 more yard here, they likely beat #1 Georgia. If Harrison Mevis makes this chip shot, they beat Auburn. And if Brady Cook doesn't throw this pick 6 coming up against Florida, they could have beat them too. But coulda, shoulda, woulda doesn't cut it. And today the Tigers finally showed up for an entire game. With their 23-10 victory over #25 South Carolina today, the Tigers finally have a big win. It's actually their 4th straight win in the annual battle for the Mayor's Cup. Brady Cook had a good day, Dominic Lovett had a great day with 150 yards, and the defense had an outstanding day, holding a high-powered offense to just 10 points. It's certainly a win to build on for Coach Drink and the Tigers. How about Brett Bielema and the Illini? They cruised to another win today, beating Nebraska 26-9. Number 17 Illinois is now 7-1 for the first time in more than 2 decades. They're also at the top of their division in the Big Ten. I don't think even the most optimistic Illini fans I know predicted that at the beginning of the year, but Brett Bielema did.
Now, the journey we've been on since last January to get to where we are today has been probably one of the most enjoyable journeys I've ever been on in my life, right? And I tell these guys all the time, like, I've been around some championship teams. I've been around people that have done things, and this team is just on that same caliber, if not better.
Well, last night it was time for Missouri high school football teams to take their first steps towards the state title, and today it's Illinois' turn. And some of the best teams in the entire area were in action tonight in the Metro East. The biggest game of the night was in O'Fallon, a must-see first-round matchup between the Panthers and rival Edwardsville. Tigers trying to pull the upset. This will help. It's Jake Curry to Dion Gaston for 6, and the Tigers smell blood. But the Panthers claw back. Colt Michael hits Jalen Smith, who streaks down the sideline all the way for the big score. This one lived up to the hype, and it's Edwardsville avenging their earlier season loss. They win tonight 43-36 over O'Fallon to move on. East St. Louis kicked off their state title quest against Richards earlier today. Robert Pops battle. He starts this one with a pass to Christopher Bennett Jr., and he finds his way in for 6. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Almost the exact same play coming up, but this time it's going to be Jesse Watson on the receiving end. He trucks his way into the end zone. Flyers roll big. They win 71-0.
Lots going on in
Lots
sports.
going on.
Thanks so much, Corey. I appreciate it. And thanks, Gary, for your time. Love being here with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. 4 or 5 on your side at 10. Saturday Night Live is up next. Join us tomorrow for Today in St. Louis at 6 a.m. See you then.